Hello Collective, thanks for joining me. I hope you are all doing well, and welcome to those who are new. Thank you for finding me. So for those that have seen me before, we are working with a new table and new energy that comes with it. So I've just put the camera on, otherwise I'm literally going to be here keep shuffling and pulling to myself. But the last video that I done, for those that saw it, it's like that was the first reading using this energy, and so there was a lot of trying to process what was coming up. This energy does feel quite deep. It's not meant for digging people out or shaming or anything, and I'm not the big guru thinking I know it all. Wasn't Buddha in my last life and all stuff like that. Just trying to help those that are at a bit of a brick wall with trying to push through their spiritual gifts, psychic gifts, abilities, or it's like there's that point where sometimes it's not knowing how to push through that brick wall. So some of you may be hitting a brick wall, and then it's breaking that down to think, is it because I'm going the wrong way, or eliminating what you know it isn't. Then it's matching it again with determination to get over that wall, push through that brick wall, that block. Is there look, already doing it? That's the energy that keeps coming through at the minute. So you're gonna have to bear with me as we go along, and I need to literally pin it down because it's making me spin off with things that they're showing me for my own teachings and stuff. So I want to just try and bring it so you can gauge where you're at individually for yourself. It's knowing where to look or what to, I don't know, let's just think. So this, they've just had me shuffling and I've split the deck, and we're using this bit apparently. So we've just literally done this, and the way that it came out was really good, but I thought let's start again. All right, so just take that resonates and leave the rest. Yeah, okay, so what have we got? We've got the star. So the light beings, or whatever it is, your higher self, at the minute, this next phase that we're pushing through, remember it's always going to be that contrast as you're looking outside, which straight away I challenge what they show me, so I'll do it as we go. But with the contradiction of that, it's what you see on the outside is what's reflected on where you're at on the inside. Yes, that's true to an extent, but I feel that blanket statement can get confusing for people, because if you're seeing all kinds of, a lot of the things that are buzzwords or blanket things, you're being shown the end of where you need to get to. So sometimes people feel that they're stuck, or it's not happening, or they can't change a mindset because they haven't been shown the process of how do you get from here to there. And then you've got to do like a £1,000 course to know that bit that they still leave out, and different bits. I'm not saying that everyone needs to put everything on for free and all the rest of it like some people do. I feel that it should be respected. People have put the effort in to learn, to expand and become experienced within their field. Absolutely should get paid for their profession across the board, but don't always need a teacher And that's what I want to try to show some of you, that how to see it reflecting back from the universe, because not everything's a sign. And that's the thing, it's like, don't have to be into galactic spiritual religion. Let's just say you're an atheist or you're a logical person. Whatever aspect you're coming from, you will still have goals, aspirations, or something to work towards. And if you haven't got that, then you will just keep going round chasing your tail until you can pin that down. Because co-creating, manifesting, whether you believe in it or not, we can't experience anything if we've not dreamt it, visualized it, or we don't know what we like, we don't know what we're aligning to. So your vibration, your frequency, whatever it is you're putting out to the universe, will be scrambled and confused, and that is what will be reflecting. So if you're seeing chaos and everything on the outside, that doesn't necessarily mean because you're seeing that's how you are inside. It's going to get worse as we go on, because we're seeing a collapse of many things. So it's the opposites. Yes, you may be seeing that chaos on the outside, but can you hold that peace, that balance within the eye of the storm? That type of feel. So things will be jumbled, I suppose, but you're looking to, as the stronger frequency, the grounded, that's why you have to be grounded, so that you can pull in more energy, so you can change that chaos that you're seeing, you can absorb it and then still change it to calm within, and then that's the frequency you give out, and that's what people are picking up on when they interact with you, when they're in your company, when they're speaking, or when they're whatever. That's what they're picking up on. So I feel that your outsides reflecting the inside is a little bit loaded. It's different for everyone. So goals, dreams, aspirations, what do you want? What do you want it to be like? Not getting caught up with the old, well, we're never going to get to that because everyone's pouring into our country, whatever country you are, everyone's pouring into our country and it's causing chaos. Know that is being sorted on a higher level, and it's not like medbeds wishful thinking. It's a thing, and obviously governments and so can't say, right, here, this is what we're doing, because there would be a complete uproar. But we've been shown that bit with the population, with all of that bit. And so I kind of agree with how they're doing it, but I also understand that people can't be told what's actually happening. Yeah, I need to get off of that bit, but yeah, there's loads that comes forward. I'll find a way of being able to not be so cryptic with saying it, to be able to show you what it looks like. So you've not stuck. Once you've got your bit, you're not stuck anymore. You've got that. Okay, so the hanged person in reverse, in the upright, it is standing still. The universe has placed you on pause because you're assessing your environment, you're hearing, you're listening, you're receiving, and you're having adjustments made. Something about sleep that they're saying as well, that there's a lot that pay attention to your dreams. When I'm seeing that coming up, it feels like it's like a card in a deck. Pay attention to your dreams. For you being at this stage, that if you're resonating with what I'm trying to describe to you, then you may not get free dreams because that's what's being moved over. So when you're hearing about people trying to access your dreams and walking in your dreams or projecting with that, there'll be man-made things for them to have you thinking of them before you go to sleep, blah blah, different bits, and maybe they are trying to project and do that. But when you're getting real messages now moving forward, it's going to be in the waking state. So if you're some kind of like top kick-ass ninja spiritual warrior, absolutely taking out everyone and everything that needs to be gone in the astral plane and the astral realm, and then you come in your waking state, but you're nothing of the sort here in the physical, then that would be, in the nicest sense of the way, that would be likened to the saying, in your dreams. Yeah, you are in your dreams, which is that. Whereas what's happening now is as above, so below. Whatever stigma is connected around that, those are the things that is going to keep people stuck because it's holding on to whatever. Whatever others are up to, that's their thing, or what they've done in the past. Getting caught up in meanings behind a saying and this and that, or it being connected to this and that means I'm something, you're just never going to progress forward, because it's fear-based. It's a worrying of how people are judging, perceiving. You've got to start letting those the easier things to let go and move forward. So that's why this is in the reverse, because now you're seeing and now you know. So if that is what you believe that you are and you do in the astral realm whilst you're sleeping, what you're looking for is confirmation in the physical realm that is what you're doing, or that's your purpose. What they're trying to show, and like saying, oh, the veil's thin, the veil's gone, we're still just using terminology, because visually, for people to be able to understand and see it and identify easier, it's said like that or whatever. So whatever stage you're at, but you're needing confirmation of what you're seeing coming into manifest in the physical realm. Otherwise it is just a dream, or fantasizing, or exploring your higher consciousness, but it's just still imagination. This is why people are struggling with the manifesting and seeing it become reality, because there's a lot of confusion around it. That's why people as well giving up, oh, it's a load of rubbish, but it's not. It is a process. So we've got here the temperance, which again is saying what we're saying, and it's the alchemizing of the energy, the mind, body and soul, all of that. Once you know your dreams, your aspirations, doesn't matter the direction to get there, you'll be feeling the pull, you'll be coming out of the pause. You know how the universe speaks back to you, so you know how to move forward. This stage is really key, because there's going to be things that are only for you. So you could be outside with loads of people, and because you know your eyes are attuned, so some of you may well be going through eyesight attunement, that you're able to see the different layers of things. So whereas normally you may feel that you've needed to go into a meditation to be able to view that and see that, that's the other thing that's putting a bit of a block in the way, because people are so accustomed to having to go into meditation, or like say do DMT and seeing things, and then but when they're not on that, they're not seeing it, or getting to an altered state of conscious but not able to harness it into the physical. That's what we're trying to alchemize, blend, and it takes practice, obviously, we know, but it's getting the right blend, the right consistency, density, frequency. Yeah. So it's trial and error. That's why it's not quick. It's not like oh, quick, come and do my weekend course and there you go. Yeah, they may tell you the basics, but it is constant practice. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff being thrown out there, and sometimes it makes me feel that when there's so much information being thrown at us, that it's kind of on purpose so that we stop relying on this, that, or the other, and we've got no choice but to go back in, whatever way we do it, to just center ourselves and gather our thoughts for a minute, and then be like, right, what was I doing, or where am I going, or what's next? It's that kind of feel. That's what the higher forces, energy, whatever you want to call it, that's the energy that's pushing us forward now. It's action, not inaction. So moving forward from that, we've got here the Page of Cups. So that is normally to do with learning. It's not that we, oh yeah, you know it all, because I feel that that makes people feel a certain way as well. Yeah, we might know it all, but what do you know that's relevant to where you're at? So certain information that you may hold or may have unlocked like 4 years ago, 2 years ago, it's just sat there parked. What you're being encouraged or moved into the position of doing is going within. So it's upside down. You've already got the teachings there, going back into the subconscious and bringing it forward for the experience you're having now. So it's pushing you back in, not outwards. Don't get it confused with, oh, not supposed to ask for guidance or help. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying don't go on any courses, don't do this. I'm not saying don't do anything. Saying the missing bits that keep being left out or are blocked from others' ears, in some cases, are bits like this. And you're only knowing these bits through the experience or knowing what to look for. That's why it's all about action. Again, with the last reading that I done as well, it was like showing about everything's multi-layered, or so it's knowing you've always got multiple things running at the same time, regardless of what level you feel that you're at. It's that's another thing as well about having to stay grounded, and the universe it's always trying to communicate with you. That's the main thing. It's like, how do you receive your information? And the example as well is, oh, my spirit guides tell me, or I get told. It's like, well, if you've got that off to a T, what else? Because again, you will come to a point where they will go silent or step back. That will be another transition period, because you need to be able to demonstrate the basics. Yeah, know right from wrong, left from right, up and down, all of those bits. But are you demonstrating it within your actions and with the situations they push forward, not just in public when everyone can see you, blah blah blah. That's the intentions that come loaded with it. So whatever stage you're being moved towards, whether it's the just starting or trying to push through that wall, and then being shown you've got some of it, what else would you need to mix in with that to give it the winning formula? That's where you've got to go in and see what other, because you will always have had these experiences somewhere in this lifetime. You've already got, that's why this would be like the magician starting out. It's not that, oh, we've got the whole answers to the universe. It's you're being shown to put your life experiences, regardless of how old you are, into play here now. What do you need tools to use? So that then gives you the opportunity to start stepping towards your goals and your dreams. It's, yeah, I'm not even going to apologize for how heavy or deep this is going to go. It's either going to be for you or not. So this is the energy coming through from this energy on this table, but I kind of love it. So anyway, it's with that going in, there's your opportunity to do whatever, which is again the reason they tell you to keep exploring or try something new, come out of your comfort zone. Something's going to inspire you. So when we're seeing those that allow others to grind that wheel and they just siphon off, that is another thing they are showing me, to not waste time and worry of that, because that is already being dealt with, in the sense of things are in place that need to just filter down. So remember, a lot of the time things are like prayers have been answered, or miracles have been witnessed, but not witnessed by everyone. Things need to take a minute just to filter through, to come into your awareness. So you're putting out a wish, always remember what wishes you put out, so you can acknowledge the ones that are granted, if that makes sense. So as I was saying that, I was seeing, like, if you're making wishes to heal the whole world, then how are you going to recognize that's been granted, that's in play? That's a little bit much. Coming back from that, it's the scaling down. Yeah, that's the macro. How could it's all this message, the last, it's all about, how do you know how to gauge something? How do you know if something's working? How do you know if it's not? How do you know that you're investing your energy in the right thing when you're following a passion, or you're trying something brand new that you've never done before? And so how do you know it's a fit that's going to turn into an opportunity? So your guides would always tell you, a higher self, if that's your normal go-to, you need to try and see about putting that to one side and see where can you get that same it's a yes confirmed in the environment around you. What other symbols, signals? So again, people that are anti-symbols and signals and that's already a block that's going to keep you stuck. What people are going to be finding is there's people coming from like nowhere kind of thing and really accelerating, progressing. It's because they are breaking down all of those barriers. Everything's changing. That's why they're changing the history and slowly introducing another one, because that's going to be for the next phase. I don't believe a lot of the stuff that they're presenting forward, but it is just a framework and a structure to move us through the next bit. And so whether our history's been a lie, yeah, and it probably has, and then when kids all grow up, they'll look back and they'll be like, our history was a lie, because it will just keep on changing. That's the evolving, but we still do need a structure to be able to go through life and pretend. That's why as well, when they're, it's a simulation or everything's like the false construct, false matrix. Well, it served a purpose at the time. So never dismiss your experiences, because you've learned a lot from it, and it will be something that you can draw from. This is the breaking through that wall. The thinking, this is where the spirit realm will really be watching, because they know how close you are to just pulling something out the hat, let's say. Again, yeah, pulling out the hat like a magician. But do you know where to access that hidden information or that missing formula that is coded just for you? And so this bit will be dressed as worry, or you'll just be processing through, do you really want it, or is it something you can walk away from or give up? Or it will be a churning of everything, but it's like a purging through the doubts, limiting beliefs. And so for to be resonating with this, you'll already be past that point process, but this is just for you to be able to identify where you will have been. It doesn't stop, it will still keep coming, because it just you get to that bit where you may feel, oh, things are going right, they're going to go wrong again in a minute, or they never last well for very long, and then I'm thrown back here. That's as you're breaking stuff down and then trusting that you already know the process, and to give yourself credit when you see the progression that you're making, regardless of how small it may appear, and especially how small it may appear to others that are projecting where they believe you should be onto you. Yeah, a little bit like I'm doing now, but you get what I'm saying. It's like, oh, you've been working on that for 5 years. I thought you would have been a multi-billionaire by now. It's stuff like that that your higher self want you to know, that for those type projections, somebody doesn't know the step-by-step process. And that's the other thing that's going to start becoming very apparent to people, that those who have siphoned off of others, or those that have completely corner cut, oh, I've done this course, I've done that course, I've done that course, and I've come to this conclusion. So addicted to courses is like a fast track to gaining all the knowledge and getting ahead and being the one that knows, whereas the slow and steady wins the race, because you need to be applying it to your physical life, especially if it's a spiritual process. It's got to go hand in hand. So this bit as well, and when people are saying about overthinking, it's like, this one actually came up in the other spread that I pulled, and what they were showing me here with this one was, if that person were to look at those swords and see it as visualizing, how many pathways have you, possible outcomes have you worried about? It could go like this, it could go like this, or it's going to be like this. So that's the worry and what it looks like. But if you were to put into a visual, how many times have you covered all angles of what it could be? How many, the ratio of those angles actually come true? So this isn't oh, we can worry all day long but it never turns out how we expect. I question that as well, because I feel that sometimes when you are really thinking of stuff, you do get an answer, you do see, you do make a break through the clouds. It takes this to get to that enlightened bit. It's part of the process. But there's in a minute, when you get to learn what works for you, removing the limiting beliefs that get in the way, stuff like that, then this process becomes quicker, and then you're able to jump to this bit sooner. but they will always give you a life example that you've already experienced. That's why there's that connecting to it, that touchy-feely physical, because as we're moving forward, everyone's getting scared of AI and all of the rest of it, going to turn us all into cyborgs and robots. No, not if we're, well, it's like, anyway, get off that bit for the minute. What I'm saying is they're trying to harness in now the understanding of why the physical touchy feeling, doing it for yourself, is important, rather than keep handing your power away to technology or to others to give you the cheat code. It's like, oh, I've studied this for 1,000,000 years, do this and you can just jump straight to there. I don't feel you can. Yeah, they can tell you certain bits. You can think that you can think anything you like, but what we're talking about here is how are you seeing it from thinking, imagining, visualizing to the reality. There is no quick way. So you've got the completion, everything's a cycle, always going round in circles. But again, this is why they want people to be able to recognize, like we're saying, using your discernment, knowing left, right, up, down, yes, no, those bits you know. But it's, can you then, it's like fine tuning every time you're going round again, because it is always repeating the cycle, and then you just sift out, reduce down, finer. That's the raising of the frequency. Yeah, so that is a fine tuning, it's a completion. So you'll go round again. It's probably like 3 times within a cycle. So the training bit, the acknowledging, then the putting what you've just been shown, taught into practice, and then experiencing it. And then the third one will be like a real life experience without their help. That'll be you demonstrating that you're taking it on board, you know what to do, you can follow the signs, the guidance, and put it into play off your own back. They'll always be around, because at that stage you are heavily being watched. So, but you still need to demonstrate. Can you discern the difference of going round in a circle chasing your tail, or you're going round again, and what stage you're at, or what you're needing to? So it's complex, it's deep, it's like it's a lot. So as well, don't forget you've got all that rubbish poured on top of, don't forget you've got to be living life. Yeah, all right, so we've got here the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. So the controversial side of the money, the trap was always not allowed to earn money from doing a spiritual business. That belief and way is as old as the hills. Hasn't been a thing for a long time. It's just people that don't understand this bit project that shame, because Bet up the road would do palm readings for free and doesn't charge. But when you're doing it as a profession, you still need your internet, your electrics, your this, that and the other, whether it's online or in face and person and all of the rest of it. So that was old wives' tale long ago. But then with the hijacking, what you have had are playing on people feeling a certain way for charging or whatever, so that the grifters grid can go in and clean up and embed in. That will be something that we will still look in, if they're still in our faces blatantly. Anyway, so this bit that we're talking about, with this 10 of Pentacles in reverse, that's the illusion part, and it's not, oh, you're forever abundant, because don't forget, we're talking about imagination, wishes, dreams. We're wanting to see, does it materialize? Why does it take so long? Or what's going on? Or am I bashing my head against a brick wall and putting my effort into something that's never gonna be that in the upright? This bit is the test, because that's the going round, seeing if you're determining if you are on a loop. The finances will be removed off of the table, because remember, this is a spiritual or logical process. So when the spirit guide, your higher self, or whatever you would usually rely on gets taken off of the table, just for this purposes, it's showing up as 10 of Pentacles because of what it represents, the stability, what the 1 Pentacle or the page is working towards. But it will be taken. So finances could be restricted, or there'll be something of that. It's not because in all cases that it's a punishment or it's whatever. It's a strengthening and a tool. It's, you've got the answers to turn that in the upright, but do you know where to look for it? So when you're going through this, if we were to couple in people that are trying to fuck with your stability, the worst time ever for someone to be doing shit like that is if you're going through this, or you're doing everything by the process, by the book, you're in alignment with the direction that the humanity, the universe, the Gaia is trying to move people forward. It's hard enough. So with that, that's the worst. The drain that comes from what they would be losing, you may not necessarily know that or notice it, or it's not draining from them straight into your pocket. You need to find that answer yourself first. That's why some people get confused as well. It's like they don't know the process that's going on in the background, because if this was to just keep landing in your lap because you wished for it, like everyone does, or we all do, it's a wish, a dream, a fantasy, it's a motivator, it's whatever we want it to be, but it's not likely to land in your lap in the way that we're led to believe. Because if this is a process you're going through, you need to be able to show that you can find the route of how to get it. That's what makes it stabilizing, and the foundation locks it in for future generations, which is why the 10 of Pentacles is a generational wealth card. All right, I feel your ears are done enough. Yeah, look, so we've got the Knight of Pentacles, which would have led on to exactly that. People trying to fuck with your finances and stability when you're in the midst of that. This is one of the times that you do have the spirit realm are literally watching. Yeah, they've got it. Yeah, they've got it. That's why I'm saying people will start excelling forward. It will become apparent. Nothing is quick in the spirit realm unless it's a return to sender or a removal of this type shit. Because what chance have you got when everything you're doing with that Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, it's like you're never getting to there if you've got man-made manipulations keep re-looping you and all of that shit. It's like I was going to say an irritant for the spirit realm, but they don't get irritated, but they can level the playing fields. It's you may have already demonstrated how to keep bouncing back. That's all well and good, but if you've got a pure manipulation going on, then it's just like swatting a mosquito out of the way. It's like it doesn't need to be there, and they are in a position to remove it, but at the same time there'll be a lesson so that they get the memo to pack it in. So we've got here the Four of Wands. It's just getting, some don't know how to translate the memo. That's their problem. That's why you've got to just keep moving forward. The alignment will be coming of like-minded people all on the same pathway. You'll be able to recognize through feeling each other when they speak that it's got that natural depth to it, rather than people throwing in the buzzwords to act like they have been through the process. We're moving into a time where everybody's sick of lies. There's always going to be lies, and there's always going to be criminality and horrors of the world. Not saying it's all going to be gone. That will always be there to a degree and extent. But where we're at now, it's the weeding out the unnecessary bits. So people are wanting transparency. Well, you can't keep calling for transparency, but yet you keep fucking lying within everything that you're doing. What's good for one, good for the other. It's all of that. This is the alchemizing, rebalancing bit. It's wrapping all of that up. So those that are ready to walk the path of, yeah, I'm calling myself out, I check myself, and that's how people will meet me, is how I deserve to be treated, blah blah blah, all of that. It's a simple friggin' guideline. Those that are self-abiding to that concept, or as a put in any other way that you want to imagine it, deal with it, or think of it, whatever, it's that same concept. Those people are the ones that are going to be gravitating towards each other, because there is that open honesty. Not saying being naive, not saying about people all being honest, and then you've got the grifters are coming in and absolutely taking liberties on those who are being honest and trying to go a certain way. That's what's been happening. That's the bit that's being removed. And that's why when they're like, oh, false fallen angels, well, they're probably the better ones to come in and start kicking people's asses when they are the ones that are trampling over everyone, taking what they think they want, they can, because they can. You know, it's like, how do you make something stop when you can't get it to stop? That's when they come in. When people think Archangel Michael, if he, I've always thought, it's like, well, why has he got a sword? Because it's aligned with the truth. So we've got the Four of Pentacles, which is this part, the process. There is the missing element that you've got, and you've got to find that pathway. We make it more difficult than it needs to be, because we're trying to grab the answer, or we're not sure what's a yes, what's a no, or it's just everything's a blur. Which is why I was saying, with things like the spiritual movement being hijacked the way that it has, it's probably a good thing, because then it's like everyone can just start from scratch. It's only what serves you is what you will end up holding onto within that confusion. So don't feel, oh, I've wasted 12 years of my life following the spiritual movement and I've come and it's a load of shit. It's not. You've collected information that is a load of rubbish, and whatever will just disperse and disintegrate. Disintegrate. You know what I'm trying to say. And so that will become apparent. All of this is done in full awareness, which is why I'm saying there's multiple layers, and that's what they're trying to move you into, to be more present, so that you can be like a computer that's got loads of tabs open. That's what they're pushing you into, so guiding you into. Whereas there could be that element of, oh, trying to soften us up to become cyborgs and AI. No, it's, you've got it within you, but you're not accessing it in conscious awareness, waking state, regardless of what you're doing when you're asleep. So this is the stability. So the 4 and the 4 is the 8, the infinity, round and round. It doesn't need to be draining. That's the thing as well. When you're working along with this side, you won't be getting drained, because you are in alignment. So yes, you're giving off an energy, and people are naturally going to be attracted to that, because that frequency, then when they're in, they start aligning to it. It's for you to be able to protect your energy, and without having to be walking around like, oh God, I've got to protect my energy. It's not even, it's about checking the company that you keep. If you're dealing with prolific liars, stealers, cheaters, and those that treat you like shit, so to say, then you're going to have your energy siphoned. So that's why going through the process and knowing everything gets reduced down. But the way that they show it as well, with everything being upside down and whatever way, is everything gets reduced down the higher you start raising your frequency, because then that tiny part of the coil spiral and you're in the bigger bit, everything's reducing down. You're letting everything go, but you're understanding the cycle where you are within that and what's coming, and that you've moved into a next phase. There's always a process, and you should always be able to recognize where you're at. You may not know what the lesson is or what's coming next all of the time, but that bit doesn't matter, because you'll always be being guided. You're able to check. So your intuition will be part of the process, the early stages, once that's there. But you also need to be able to have something else that you can get a signal, because as we know, people try to fuck with you so that you doubt your intuition, or they'll feed information to lead you off the wrong course. You need to be able to have an override, so that you're not relying on people's confirmation. So when I was studying how all of this goes on, and what tactics people use, what they've shown is that they will manipulate. So it will be, oh yeah, you got that right, or that was right, and that was right. So it builds up that false construct, that false sense of security. If you're only relying on that feedback outside of whatever way, so depending on where you are, obviously, but if you're only relying on that, then you are easily going to be led down the wrong path. How do you check yourself at certain points if you're not relying on your guides? Because that could be, again, trickster spirits, or once telepathy starts kicking in properly, that's already going to be a headache, because there's going to be all sorts of intrusive everything, and that's again another buck passer, because it'd be like, oh, mind parasites coming into it's not needing to be that stressful. And that's not trying to just be flippant with saying that. It's, there are easier ways. We're being pushed to feel that it's that difficult. And yes, now that we've got all the collapse and invasions and all the rest of it, it will clear. That's not the future we're moving forward into, all of this people invading our private spaces and so, and tapping into our anxiety and our vulnerabilities. But what you're seeing playing out in the macro, you're being called on a smaller micro level, so your community, and so is how do you deal with it within your community when you haven't got, like, say, so some of the things that, oh, the authorities aren't doing anything. Well, you're constricted by not being able to completely take the law into your own hands, but there would be a solution of how you can override that. Does that make sense? So it's what it's moving to as well is like communities actually banding together, looking out for each other. So what they keep saying is what we're hoping for, we're being led to feel that it's so many miles out of our reach in regards to it being a realistic possibility. But what they're saying is we're closer than we think. This is just the messy stage, the clearing up. It's about getting us back in touch with what do we value. And so we need to have something that we know definitely don't want that crap. And then we work from that. Then it's the cycle. So, I mean, that explanation's already spinning me out. So I understand if people have already clicked out. But this is what's going on now. This is literally the energy that you're going to start seeing pushing through. So it gets more intense, which again is the importance of that being grounded, protecting your inner peace and the mental health. That time, it's like if you've not got that ready and sorted by now, then that's where you need to go back again and refine it, retune it, and so on. This in the reverse isn't kept away from you the whole time. Don't forget, it's just taken off of the table as a resource, because they need you to tap into your creativity. How do you find your way out of a hole when you can't see the exit? You know that you've removed limiting beliefs, you've got that self-belief, I know there's an answer or there's a way, which is why people worry. You know there's a way, you just don't know how to access the answer, and that's what they're trying to come forward. But you've got the ones that don't want you to figure stuff out, are creating the loops or sending you in different ways so that you don't get the answer. That's what's put on, oh, the spirit realm is stopping you and controlling you. That's not the case, and it's never been my experience. And I've been there, I've been in every of these positions, and I've never experienced them, even with having rubbish thoughts and whatever. It's like I've only ever seen them encouraging and bringing up through the cycle. So once you know the process, then you always know how to do it. It's not repetitive. It may feel like it sometimes, but the higher up you go, the harder it will get. But it will be won't be constantly. It will be far and few between, because you're always trying to expand and elevate. So we've got the Seven of Pentacles. It's the investment into that. Before you know it, you'll see that little pentacle, which is there, becomes that's growing in the background, and it's almost at the 10. So this can be stored and saved. This will be the spiritual wealth. So some people, different lifetimes or so, it can accumulate, and it's banked, so to say, spiritually banked, and then comes forward when you've completed a particular stage. It's like the releasing, it comes forward, which is that coming back on the table. And it can be in all kinds of forms, whatever you need, whatever you want, which is why when you start that journey and that process, they need to know at the beginning, what do you want? What do you want your life to look like? Or what do you need to be in your life? Or how do you need it to be for you to feel content within? Not that that's what you'll exactly get or whatever, but if you don't know what makes you happy, or what you need to feel safe and secure, or just in alignment with the truth of who you are, if you don't know that bit, then they can't, they're not moving you forward to anything. They can't encourage anything, because you need to create. Yeah. Yeah. Are you creating? So that's the thing as well, when they're like, oh, it's like a school, and or we're all trapped, but yeah, everyone's coming in and we're coming out and we're coming back, and we're, see, even that story's a little bit, there's I'm zoning out quite a lot of the things that I'm seeing being said, to be fair, but I'm probably just pulling away from it. So be into whatever you're into. But like the last video I was saying, getting reactions to things, and watching the feelings and thought process as it's working through and releasing it. And that's alongside just doing whatever. It's not like going into a big thinking stage, but it's like scrolling through YouTube, seeing the titles, and sometimes I'll come across something and I'll get a reaction to it, because I know that it's part of the funnel and the loop that are sending people down the wrong way. But what you're going to do, can't be keep reacting, but I can help people to connect with their version of it. It's all individual, isn't it? Yeah, that much we know, but how do you even know where to start? It's like, I don't know what to do. I don't even know what is it that I'm supposed to be looking for, which is a thing within itself. But we've all done it, we're all there. So we've got justice. So the justice is karmic justice, if that's a thing that needs to be. You wouldn't be able to add that in with your, oh, I just need to have to see justice and have that. That wouldn't be a part of it, because that's its own thing, and it's implemented as and when. And you may not even know that it's happened or happening or whatever. It's not included in it. It's like an extra, or it's whatever. Justice is just reward. So that's getting that, because you've completed that. It takes a lot to get there, and a lot of people feel they're doing something wrong, but they're not. That's why now trying to push forward, and that's what I was going to say earlier, that trying to put that wedge between the spirit realm or ET contact or different things, trying to distort any kind of connection or misinformation, or it's like, oh, it's all in your head, you know, it is just you talking to you. But there are outside physicals. Yeah, the whole universe is just a figment of our imagination. That's all well and good, but that's not actually supporting you with your everyday moving forward, holding on to that. You do still need to function within society. So yeah, so it's that justice, which is that just reward that you've worked hard for. This is why things will be removed, whether you're aware of it or not, because you are putting the work in and following a process. So the most protected time, especially when like your guides, or you're going through that final test before you level up, I suppose that's what it's being called, isn't it? Yeah, so your justice or just rewards is because you continued, you were determined, you persevered, you were able to guide yourself through it with overseeing assistance, even if you wanted to see that as the oversoul. You know, you're calling you in. So you're following your own navigation system, and you've winning at all costs. It's like, oh, it's kind of always given a feeling of it's someone's got to win at all costs. Well, yeah, if you're fighting for your own survival or your own sanity, then you need to be pulling out all the stops to fight for yourself, because if you don't put a value on your own life, then who else will? Who else is going to fight your battles for you? And that's what you're demonstrating. I fight for me regardless. And it's that energy that holds the most power. It's not the selfishness, not giving a shit about anyone else. It's if you're not able to demonstrate this, and this within yourself, within your own life, within the actions that you take, how you treat others, and all of that, then the whole process is distorted, and it will go nowhere, or you'll get a certain bit. Like when you come across people that are spiritually capped, it's because they're trying to override a divine coding. It's not going to happen in your dreams. So look, just even there, and there you go, with his sword. Some people see that as Archangel Michael. And then we've got Judgment, we've got the Temperance, and then we've got there you, or male, female, either one. Spirit realm, listening to guidance. It's about feeling the answer your way through. There's not a cheat bit for this. And then you've got the Chariot taking charge. And it gets easier. It does get easier because you've got the formula, you've got the code, you've got the protection, you're aware of all of those bits, but you can do it yourself. But the higher you go, the more protected you will come, because there's not that many that really do get it. So that's why you'll have that such a strong protection coming in. Yeah. All right, so with the other video, it was like kind of left a little bit didn't have anything to finish off, so at least the energy feels like it's settling down a bit. So I hope that it made sense for you. It feels like, I don't know that it's gonna be this type of readings the whole time. It's obviously an element of it because it's what I love, but just that's the basis of the energy that will push forward as we continue with the readings. Yeah, so Yeah, spotting and applying. So we've got, someone's watching. I let go of the shadow of the past by seeing someone for the first time with eyes of love. I love that. Yes, that's what we were saying. It's removing the blocks, limiting beliefs, blah, blah, blah. It's just starting again and moving forward with love. It's not even like, oh, flower power. It's about treating people with that. You haven't got to be all loving and gushing, but you get what I'm saying. So I always trust the direction of the universe and know I'm being guided. My happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe. This is why as well it's like co-creating. You can be guided, led and shown a yes and a direction, but in return you also need to demonstrate that you're hearing, you're following instructions, you're not ultimately can't do anything without checking with them or being told or whatever, because you're the one that is matching the frequency to your intention, dream, your goal, your wish. You should know from that point there what the code, what it feels like, what it looks like, and then it gets placed out there, the manifest out to the universe, and then this is you honing in on it. So the closer you start getting to that, the stronger the vibration, the frequency, it starts coming in as a match, and then it will begin to materialize. So I surrender to a power greater than me. So it's releasing the control of the outcome, because stuff can happen, as we know, and there may be a easier route, or you could have learned a couple of things or demonstrated an ability out of one particular circumstance or something, and then it will open up a new route or a new path and bypass what you were heading towards, if that makes sense. Which is why I'm saying a lot of people seeing others that are progressing quicker or accelerating. It's not that someone's doing anything wrong, it's just people receive instructions, information, and so a different way. You just need to know, how do you understand, how do you receive it? And it will always, like all of my readings, keep coming back to that, because it's a signaling system that is joined with your moral, your inner compass, your dreams. It's like you're being guided in. So yeah, so there you go. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.